Guess who's back? Back again. Cheryl's back. Tell a friend. Woohoo! Yippee! Alright guys, I'm solo reviewing this episode this week, so bear with me. I'm Tyler, and you're watching Super Squad D, where the D stands for Deadbeat. What? Oh man, that comic accurate scene. How legit was that? We got the whole Archie gang in true comic form. That was epic. Exactly what we needed on Riverdale. Boom! Also, that scene kind of made me realize how glad I am that we don't have a comic accurate Riverdale. Like, thank goodness, right? Like, who wants to see those ridiculous outfits and costumes? Like, thank goodness they modernized it. Thanks, Riverdale. You the bomb. This episode was titled The Lonely Place. And man, is that an accurate description for like 90% of the characters on this show right now. Everybody's lonely in some way. And boy, was this episode not heart-wrenching? I was not prepared for this, Riverdale. I was unprepared to experience the feelings that you made me feel. I was totally unprepared for this week. Jughead, what you doing to me, man? What you doing? All right, so there's 3 plot lines in this episode, and we're going to talk about 2 of them pretty in depth, and one of them we're just going to breeze over, just get it out of the way, because it was kind of weak. We're going to talk about Veronica. Now, Veronica's plot was really one-dimensional. She was mad at her mom from last episode because he gave Archie's dad the contract for the renovations that they're going to do. And honestly, it was just kind of a boring subplot. Like, she was mad at her mom wanted to make it up to her. She goes off on this binging spree of spending and partying. Her mom cuts off her credit card, they make up in the end. Boom, we done with that. The 2 plot lines that really interested me were the Polly plot line and the Jughead plot line. The Polly plot line starts off, Betty remembers that Polly used to hide in the attic. Somehow her parents forgot that, I don't know. But Betty remembers it, goes and finds Polly hiding in the attic. And she's like, hey, how can I help? And Polly's like, I want to raise this baby. Mom and Dad won't let me. That's kind of tragic, right? Like, that's sad. It's a real sad situation. Do you guys think that Polly's crazy? Let me know if you think she's crazy, because I kind of don't think she is. Last episode, I thought she might be. But this episode, I'm starting to think maybe she's not crazy. Maybe she's just misunderstood. But Polly tells Betty that she wants to raise her baby. Betty goes and talks to her parents, and she says, like, hey, if I find Polly, we're all gonna live here, right? And her parents are like, yeah, totally. And then she says, and the baby too, and her parents are like, oh no, Polly wants to give that baby up. Lies. Bad parents again all around. Lies, lies, lies. So she knows, don't tell my parents. So she goes to school, word gets around through the grapevine, and Cheryl finds out, my girl, Cheryl, the best character in the show, hands down the best character in the show. She finds out and goes to Betty, and she offers help. I genuinely think that Cheryl wants to help. What do you think? I mean, I think she's not a nice person, but she does have a good heart. Sometimes, maybe. So she wants to help, and she says, look, whatever I can do to help, I'm gonna do. And my parents are all in too. My parents are totally gonna help. So she goes and tells her parents, okay. Did anybody trust her parents? Like, at any point, did you look at her parents and be like, oh, they totally wanna help. They really care. No, never. Nobody felt that way. We all knew her parents were terrible and gonna betray them. After the stuff they've been doing this whole series, yeah, no one believed that. But they say, yeah, we're gonna help Polly for sure. So Cheryl tells Polly, hey, look, you're gonna come live with us. We always take care of our own. Like, your baby's a blossom, you're a blossom now. Polly, you're in the family. Betty, you're in the family. Jughead can even be in the family. Everyone's in the family. So they decide to meet up at Pop's, which is the premier place, obviously, in Riverdale. And Cheryl gets there first. And she really has just a really heartfelt moment with Polly. They exchange looks. Polly tells her she's sorry for everything that happened to Jason and that Jason really loves Cheryl. And Cheryl says, look, my mama want to take this baby from you. You got to get out of here. So Cheryl basically just warns Polly, and Polly pieces out. And in the end, Polly ends up staying with Veronica and Hermione in secret. Shh. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. That ended that plot. Now let me tell you guys, the plot with Jughead, man, that was getting me right in the feels. Jughead went from being my least favorite character to my second favorite character, right behind Cheryl, if we're not counting Crazy Betty. Crazy Betty is awesome. But Jughead was a standout character in this episode. He starts off living under the stairs of the school, and you just feel bad for that dude. Archie finds him living under there and says, dude, you gotta come live with me, come on, and brings him home. And Archie really puts the pressure on his dad to help out Jughead. And the whole Jughead family dynamic is just totally tragic. Man, I feel so bad for him. That's a messed up home he's gotta live in. What we find out is that Jughead's mom and sister, JB, Jellybean, they call her JB, that they left, they peaced out once FP, his dad, lost his job and started drinking, and we know he's in the Southside Serpents, which everybody else doesn't know that, but once he fell off the rocker, his family peaced out. Jughead stuck around, and man, this dude is just a broken guy. He wants to do the right thing, he wants to have a family, but man, he just cannot fall out of the life patterns that he's in. So Archie convinces his dad to give him another shot and to give him a job at the construction site, and he does, and it works out well for a little bit. They all kind of hang out, they're telling stories, they're joking, they're jamming out on the guitar, but you get that sense that like FP, he's not really all there in terms of being a good dad and an upright dad. He's struggling, he gets a little too drunk, goes home, Jughead has to put him to bed, and it's just, man, this is just tragic. Like, dude just can't get his life together, and Jughead wants him to, and he wants to, but it's just not happening, man. And this was a really real episode, a real down-to-earth, emotional episode. I was feeling some emotions, guys. I was feeling them this episode. So we found out that from FP's perspective, he feels like Archie's dad kicked him out of the company they started together. Archie's dad tells us, nah, man, that's not what happened. Actually, this dude was always in jail, and I totally saved him a ton of times, and he was just sinking in life, and he was going down. I couldn't save him, but I had to save myself, I had to save the company. And so we get this picture that FP sees the world the way he wants to see it, but let's be honest, like, we all see the world the way we want to see it. No one wants to think of themselves as the reason for their problems, so, you know, I feel for FP in that way, but FP's making some bad life choices. Southside Serpent thing especially, that's bad life choices, dude. So Jughead got arrested, and that didn't really make a lot of sense to me, because obviously they knew he was at the crime scene. He's the one who found it. He took pictures of it. He told him he touched stuff. So, I don't know, they arrested him and they accused him of having motive because the football players picked on him because he came from a broken home, and he would have all the motive in the world to want to hurt the football players and get back at them and kill Jason. And he just closes down. He gets really upset, shuts down completely, and he tries to get his dad on the line. He says he wants a lawyer, but he tries to get his dad. He can't get his dad. We assume at this point his dad was hungover or something, and he couldn't come to the phone, or he couldn't find his phone, or who knows, and so he didn't show up. So they call Archie and Archie's dad, and they come down there, and you know that's not going to bode well for their relationship, because FP's kind of got this jealousy thing going with Archie's dad and this competition thing. Like, he wants to be a good dad, and he gets upset when Archie's dad tries to be a dad to Jughead and step in, and Archie's dad's just trying to help. Archie really gave a good speech this episode about helping other people, and you could tell it really motivated Archie's dad to really want to help Jughead. So I love that about Archie this episode. I thought that was great. So when Archie and his dad get down to the police station, Archie's dad lies and says, yeah, he was working for me that weekend. So, you know, that's where he was. It was totally fine. So they let him out, and right when they get out of the police station, there's this confrontation with FP. And man, that interaction, whew. FP gets really mad first. He's like, I'm gonna go tell that sheriff, I'm gonna whoop him because no one treats my boy this way. He's obviously overcompensating for missing being there for this crucial moment for Jughead, and Jughead's like, Dad, don't do it, please. He grabs him by the shirt and he's like, Dad, don't do it, don't make it worse for me. And his dad kind of calms down. He says, okay. And basically they just have it out right there, this scene where they throw out the offer for Jughead to go live with Archie and his dad. And at first FP doesn't want to, but FP decides it'd be better. And he lets him go, and you can tell, man, Jughead is upset. He wants to be with his dad. He wants to take care of his dad. He just wants his dad to get his life together and for his family to get put back together. So his dad tells him, go stay with Archie, it'll be better, it'll just be for a month or two. And I don't know, guys, what do y'all think? Do you believe him? I just don't see it happening. And the way the whole episode wraps up is you're back at FP's trailer, and he starts to drink, and he walks by, and there's Jason's jacket chilling in the closet. Ah! So let's talk about that for a sec. Now I'm assuming, and this is a stretch maybe, but I'm assuming that he burned down the car and that he took the jacket from the back of the car. So he burned it down, A, to cover his own tail, or B, as a job working for someone else because he's trying to make money so he can get his family back. And he's working for the Southside Serpents. But if you're gonna burn down a car, why in the world are you gonna save evidence? I mean, if you're gonna save anything, save the drugs and sell them. But why would you save the jacket as evidence? Like, the evidence that you burned down the car is the fact that the car is on fire. You've completed your job, obviously. So why would you save it? I don't know. Now, let me know in the comments below if you think that FP killed Jason. I don't think they're going that route. I think it's too obvious. I think this is way too early of a reveal. I don't think he killed him, but I do think he burned down that car, probably as a job with the Southside Serpents. All in all, a really emotional episode. We get more fleshed out between Jughead and Betty. That was great. Glad to see them actually being together, finding each other after going through this experience. Archie totally seemed cool with it. In Jughead's dream, where they were all their comic book characters, he for some reason pictured Archie being really mad, but Archie was totally fine with it. Archie's like, yeah, man, I'm happy for you. That's great. Good for you. You do what you gotta do, bro. What'd you think of this episode? I think this show keeps getting better and better. Absolutely love it. This is my first time doing a solo review of this show. So next week, hopefully I'll have a host back with me. And don't forget, you can be entered into this giveaway to win this awesome Absolute Edition of the New Frontier simply by dropping a comment. That's all you gotta do. All right, guys, this is Super Squad D, where the D stands for Deadbeat.
Woohoo! Yippee!